How are we doing? I'm Andrew Hereford, an associate with Difference Financial. Now, have you always been curious, what is the difference between a traditional and a Roth IRA? Well, in just a moment, we're going to tell you.
How are we doing? We're going to talk about the traditional IRA versus the Roth IRA. Now, before we do that, let's discuss what is an IRA. It's simply an individual retirement account. Now, not only are we going to talk about the differences between them, but we're going to show them in action so you can see hands down which one is better for you. So first of all, who's eligible? For both the IRA, the traditional, and the Roth, it's for anyone that works, anyone that receives a taxable compensation. Now, for the traditional, you can contribute and can open one up until age 70 and a half. Now, for the Roth IRA, there's some different things about it. So you can only open one if you make less than $114,000 a year if you file single, and $118,000 a year if you file joint. Now, when you contribute, both of them, you can contribute $5,500 per year, or $6,500 if your age is 50 and up. Now, here's the difference between them. Your traditional is your pre-tax contributions, and your Roth is your post-tax contributions. Now we're going to discuss why that's important. But before we do that, we need to talk about the three different IRS tax codes. Now right here, if you have an account, it's going to fall into one of these categories. So first we're going to talk about our taxable, and this is our red zone. This is capital gains tax. So top of this list is your wages, your income. Also, you have your money in your bank account, your stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds, your CDs. And what this means is if you look at the big old circles, as your account grows, your taxes are going to grow proportionately, or it's going to increase proportionally with your accounts. And that's not too terribly bad, but it's absolutely nothing that you want for retirement, which is good because our two different retirement categories is our blue and our green zone. Now, first we're going to talk about the tax deferred. Now, this is where most of the retirement accounts are. This is where your 401k is, your traditional IRA, your traditional TSP, your 403b. And how this works is you get to put in money tax-free. Before it ever gets taxed, you get to contribute it towards your future, your retirement. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Now, here's the drawback to it. It's going to grow and grow tax-free. But when you need it the most, when you absolutely have to have your money, that's when it gets taxed. Now, do you think taxes are going to go up, or do you think they're going to go down? Now, say you wanted to pull out $60,000 a year. If you just pull out 60, you're not going to get all of it because you get taxed, and it's taxed as ordinary income. And you're going to see this in action when we show them side by side. But to get your 60, you're going to have to pull out more than 60. Now let's talk about something slightly different. We're going to go to this green zone, your tax advantage, your tax exempt. Now this is for your Roth IRA, your Roth TSP, and cash accumulation inside of a life insurance contract. And this is called Index Universal Life. But for right now, we're just going to talk about the Roth IRA. So how this works is you're going to take your wages that are already taxed. This is your post-tax money, and you're going to contribute towards your future. We're looking forward, we're looking ahead. Now for this one, you really are, because it's going to grow tax-free. And you get to pull it out tax-free. So when you want that $60,000, you get $60,000. All you do is pull out $60,000. It's that simple. So I'm going to leave this final question for you. If you're a farmer, would you rather get taxed on the seeds or the harvest? So we talked about how we put money in. Now let's talk about how we pull money out. Now for both the traditional and the Roth, you can pull it out after age 59 and a half. Now if you pull out before, you can, but you're going to get taxed or you're going to get hit with a 10% penalty. Now for the traditional IRA, you're also going to get taxed as ordinary income on what you pull out. And you have to pull out your money at age 70 and a half. Now reason being is you haven't been taxed on it yet. So the government wants their money, and they're going to get it. Now, you don't just pull out a little bit, you have a required minimum distribution. And this is dependent on your age, typically 70, and it's also dependent on the account balance you have. Now, the money you do pull out is taxed as ordinary income. And then for your Roth IRA, you have no required minimum distribution. And it's not taxed because you already taxed before you put it in. So now, let's look at it side by side and see which one would be better for you. So first, we're going to input them both exactly the same. So for age, we're going to do age. We're going to start at age 35, and then we're going to put retirement for age 70. Now, how much we have in? We're just going to make it an even 25,000, and we're going to do 5,500 per year. So at age 70, we're left with $1,104,622.58. So not too bad. So now we need to set up our traditional IRA. We're going to set up the exact same, because what we want to do is compare and contrast which one is going to do better for us, because you don't know until you check it out. And so if you look, we have the exact same number, which is wonderful. Now, when we look at pulling it out, first we're going to start with our traditional IRA withdrawal. So as you see the number in red, this is our required minimum distribution. This is the minimum we have to pull out due to our account balance. So what we're going to do is, instead of pulling out $64,977.80, we're just going to make an easy $65,000. So notice as our tax rate goes up, because it's taxed as ordinary income. Now right now we're working off the 2014 tax bracket, and who knows what's going to be in the future, but this is what's current as of now, as of the irs.gov website. So once again, we have our 1.1 million, and what I want to point out is how long it's going to last us. When does our money run out? So at age 87, 18 years in, it finally runs out. Now, right here you see that it's pulling out $65,000 per year. Now, how much you're actually getting is $48,750 per year. The reason being is you're getting taxed 25%. So that means you're going to lose $16,250 per year, and you only get that $48,750. So what that means is, when it's all said and done, you pulled out $780,000. Now you got taxed $260,000. That's how much you got taxed. Now we're going to look at the Roth IRA. So the withdrawal for that, pulling out of the same exact year, we're going to pull out the same exact amount, $65,000, and we start with this same exact amount. Now it's going to last us, once again, 18 years, and that's when we're age 87, and we're pulling out as much as we put in. We're not getting taxed that $260,000 because we already taxed in the beginning. Now, I don't know which one you have, and also I don't know which one is better for you. But one thing I can tell you is, let's talk about our next steps. Now, hopefully you got some value from today. Hopefully you learned something. And one thing I do want to let you know is there is no size 8 shoe when it comes to investments, and especially your retirement. Every single retirement is different. Now, because of that, one great thing that you can do is go to differencedream.com/DFIS or facebook.com/differencedream. And what you can do is you can request a complimentary, comprehensive financial analysis. And what that's going to do is see what you currently have and see where you want to go. And then we can just pave a roadmap for you. Now, that is just going to be wonderful and help you get to where you want to be. So I hope you got something out of this. Have a wonderful day or night.